Hello, my elementary 2 artists. I really love all the sculpture work that you guys shared with me. I'm so excited to see that you're still working and creating and taking projects to a whole different level because you have time and you have the creativity, and I'm just excited that you guys are still creating. So thank you for sharing all your work with me. I love seeing it. Love knowing that art is still a part of your daily life. So awesome. I thought that I'd switch gears a little bit and take a pause on the sculptural work and go back to some drawing work. Since we're spending a lot of time, especially with the weather being not so cooperative lately, I figured that you were inside more than you probably would care to be, but I find myself looking outside a lot more than I normally do. So I thought, hey, how about we try to revisit the 1-point perspective work that you guys were working on before we had to leave school, and maybe do a scene outside of our windows. So there are a lot of artists that use that theme and are inspired by the views that they see. I think with a lot of things, when you look at them creatively and you start looking at them in a different way, you see things differently. So I bet you have been looking out of windows a lot more than you normally do at home. And maybe you've noticed something that you hadn't noticed before. I have a favorite tree in my backyard that I've drawn many times, and it just makes you see things differently when you put it from your mind, from the object down onto paper or canvas. So I'd like you to find a view that you like, whether it's in your bedroom, your kitchen, living room, wherever, and just take a minute and just sit there and look at it. If you work better from photographs, shoot a photo of the view out your window and work from that. That's a great resource to have. I have a larger piece of paper because I like working bigger. If you don't have big paper, you can do beautiful scenes in miniature too. But remember, I just wanted to give you a quick refresher on the 1-point perspective, because if you're drawing something out a window, you need to create that depth. And the 1-point perspective is a great way to do that. So the first thing that I do is create the frame. The frame is pretty easy because it's going to be your window or your door. So draw that out first, and then create your horizon line out your window. Remember to draw lightly at first, and then you can go in and darken things up. So I'm going to do mine a little darker so you can see it. I'm looking at I have a double French door back here that has a gracious plenty amount of windows that I can see out of. So I'm just sketching that in first, and then I've got my horizon line and my 1 point to start building my perspective off of. So if you recall, you use your ruler and everything goes into that 1-point perspective. The sidewalk, the trees, the grass, the bushes, any of those things are going to come down to that 1 point. So out my back window, I have a row of bushes over here, so I've just created my sight line so it gives that illusion of depth. So work on that, see what you can come up with. Maybe do one without using 1-point perspective, and then use the perspective, because sometimes when things aren't in perspective, it gives a really cool feeling, like it's a little uncomfortable, or it's humorous, or it makes you feel, I don't know, it just makes you feel different when the perspective is a little bit askewed. And sometimes you can use those rules and twist them to make something even more dramatic or more creative. So I'll put some examples at the bottom of the video. If you scroll down, you'll see some famous artworks. Most of them are paintings from artists that have used this sort of prompt, like what I see out of my window, to create some nice work. So Thanks again for sharing your work, and I miss you guys, and I will see you later. Okay.